Hey, it's your boy Banner, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on this. But what's happening is that this is a kind of a twofold thing. So what's going on is that while I'm defoliating this, you all are going to see a little road trip that I went on yesterday. I went up by my good friend Kenny Ali up in the eastern side of Trinidad, Sangre Grande to be precise, to get some pots. So let me let you take a look at that while I defoliate, and when we come back from that little nice trip that I had, we're going to look at this. Yeah? What do you say? Good stuff. Lewy Disco. Hey my friends, it's your boy Banner, and today I'm on a little bit of an adventure. So what's happening is that I have to go and get a couple bonsai pots. So I am up here on the eastern side of Trinidad called Sangre Grande by a guy named Kenny. Kenny is the guy who makes concrete bonsai pots for us to use. And I want to show you, you can probably see in my background, Kenny has also been delving in the art of bonsai, so I'm going to flip the camera so that you all could kind of see what Kenny has been doing. And then going to look at a couple of the pots that I'm going to get. Yeah? Alright. So, to say where I'm going to start, I don't know. But I'm going to start right here with this jabuticaba tree that Kenny has here. And as you can hear in the background, my partner Errol, you know Errol always, me and Errol always under some kind of thing. Errol and Kenny having a conversation in the back there, but look at this jabuticaba, my friends. Right next to it is a juniper. And all of these pots are pots that Kenny made for himself. So this is a juniper. And what you're seeing is that Kenny is quite good with snow rose. Well, at least to me. So this is one of the many snow rose trees that he has, with all the varying pads coming up. Another one. And next to it is a mixed kind of thing with snow rose and Fukian tea. But look at the pending type situation that he created. He made this is styrofoam on this concrete pot here. And I draw it back so you could see the scale of it. It looks really very nice. Below that is a snow rose forest. Wow, wait. Right behind is a Gemelina or Malina. And then above it, to the back, bougainvilleas, snow rose. What tree is this again? Jamun, Gulab Jamun. I'm going to sit on a chair and look at a pot that Kenny created here, my friends. And he put a ficus in this. and it's allowing for the aerial roots to fall, as you can see, and cling on to it, giving it even more character. And there's some sluggy guys having themselves a time. This is a sea hibiscus, variegated sea hibiscus forest. Next to it is another grouping. Not sure what is the name of this tree or this plant, but a nice grouping with some really very nice thick trunks. A little house and stone and whatnot. Looks really, really very nice. On the other side, my friends, is his mango bonsai. And he said to us this morning that he got 13 mangoes from this tree. I have to step back because it has some size. More junipers, all in pots that Kenny would have created. This is a nice piece of oak here. This, my friends, is a sweet lime in a semi-cascade style. I can't get around to the front of it, so this is what we're getting to see. A lot of nice stuff. Yeah. Out here we have a Cassarina pine planted. More snow rose. Oh my. And this just goes to show, even though he creates pots, even though he makes pots, he still utilizes things in and around the house to use as growing pots. So this is a plastic container that he's using for this jabuticaba that is gaining some nice vigor and growing well. Anyways, we're going to look at some pots. Let me pick a couple of things and we're heading out. So I know I told you we were going to look at some pots, but before we look at that, I just wanted to show you some more little creations that Kenny would have made. And this doesn't come with any kind of formal training. This is just his ingenuity, his thought process. So he created this concrete pot and created this scenery. And this has been created out of styrofoam. And he used wire to make trees. Added a pump and a couple dolphins. My friends, this looks very nice. All this missing is some fish. I ain't lying, if I had the money for this, I would offer him a price and take this home and put this in my house. Put some fish in this and this would have been super dupes. Here's another one of his compositions made out of wire and styrofoam, painted by himself. These are very nice, my friends. These are very, very, very nice. This tree painted to mimic deadwood or shari. I am very impressed by this. So my friends, these are some of the pots that Kenny would have made, and I'll show you all that. This is his workstation. Kenny don't like videos, so this is his bottom half. I'm not showing you his face because he hates videos, and I don't want to. You can't come in somebody's place and be disrespectful to he say you're so good looking. Some of the pots that he would have made already. Well, this is really very nice. And again, granted, we don't necessarily have the authentic bonsai pots here, but you support local, you support Errol having a conversation about, you know, you support the local talent, you support the local works. And Errol in my video making a bag of noise. Now Kenny also, what he does is that he gives you the option to give him a call and let you know, well, hey, you can let me know what dimensions you want, what kind of style you're looking for, and he will try to accommodate. You know, this, I don't know if I showed you all this. This is red brick. He took red brick, cut it up, carved, and he made this kind of castle thing out of it. And to my friend Chris Marshall from CM Bonsai. Chris, boy, can you give me something to try? Let me show you guys. So he gave me these 2 items here. See if I can get them good. A project to finish, a couple projects to finish. One is concrete, and as you can see, the other one is made out of styrofoam. So, more things to widen my scope and add a little more value to the things that I do. Alright friends, when I talk to you next, it will be either on the way home or when I get home. Alright, see you all soon. Okay, so as well you could see, it's been a while since I did this and it's getting dark because I'm trying to do some work when I finish work. But anyways, what is happening is that, as you can see, I defoliated the entire tree. And it's a double trunk. And I don't know why I'm fouling up my words so much or losing my trail of thought so quickly. But it's a double trunk. And I've started creating some branching here and creating branching on this side. Now, the thing about it is that, is this a nice kind of a setting, or should I have something coming up in the center here to tie these two together? You know, that's the question. Because there were branches, one here, that I took off. And I'm wondering if that, now in hindsight, if that was the right thing. But water spilt. I can't do anything about it now. You know, but what I want to do now that I've defoliated this tree is to remove all the dead bits and prune back to encourage more branching and, well, which is more ramification, and eventually create something really very beautiful out of this body of work here. You know, so let me get to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and prune back all the long extending bits. And then I'm going to come back in, prune back all the long extending bits, take away all the dead stuff, and then come back in and do a little more fine tuning, as the saying goes, a little more fine ramification, and let's see how that goes. Yeah. this stage, my friends, it's getting really very dark, and I'm trying to work as quickly as possible, but I may have to come back to this. Oh my. Oh my. Now, one of the things with this particular species is that from one branch it gives you two to choose from, and if not managed, which is something that I'm learning, if not managed, you're gonna get a lot of inverse taper. So what I want to do now is try to remove all the crossing branches, prune back the buds that we want, and fertilize and leave this to grow. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So like this branch here, for example, there are buds quite back here that I could prune back to, and this comes up here and breaks off into two and then another two. So this is two and then four basically. And the thing is, what do I really want? What do I want? So I figured this might be a little bit much because it's going to create a lot of swelling up here. So I'm going to remove this branch, opting for this one. Yeah. Because as it stands right now, this kind of interferes. This has a branch coming out here that goes in a not so nice angle that I'm going to take off. And then I have this coming up here, this coming out here nicely. And, oh, look, and this goes up here. Choices, the choices. I think I'm going to take this one off, leave this, take this top off, and leave this to develop. Cut this back. So that's the plan. So I'm going to remove this, removing the vigor from this branch because it's thickening up quite a lot. So that is gone. I'm going to cut this back a bit more. Sorry if my elbow getting into the way. I do apologize. Right? So I took that off, cleaned it up, and this splits here, and is what do I want here. So I'm going to take this off, the top off, opting for here, this one, and I'm going to prune this back here, shortening that quite a bit. Yeah? So I have this here, this coming off here, and now I have a decision here as well. This is going back in, so I'm going to remove this one and leave this guy here. Clearing up a bit of space here. And I have, this is dead. I have this guy here. I'm going to prune back too. And this is cool so far. So I'm going to go around the tree and try to do this as quickly as I can. Yeah, removing all the crossing items and things that are not going in a direction that is preferred. So my friends, I brought you in a little bit closer because I have a little bit of a dilemma here with regards to choices. All the branches seem to be coming from under. So this comes from under. This branch that comes across here comes from under. And choices. This comes from on top, but quite back here. Now, this is already a very thick branch up in the apex. And I have nothing else. Whew. I'm wondering, because if I take this off entirely, it's going to leave this branch going across here, which makes no sense. None at all. I need to have something coming out here. But it's which one I want to have coming out here. This is very big. This is gaining a lot of vigor. So I could take this off, because ideally I feel as though like I want to encourage this guy, take off this and leave this fellow here. And I don't know how that will look, because this is very thick. Let me see how it looks like in your angle. Yeah, he is gaining a massive amount of vigor. A massive, massive amount of vigor. So, quick decisions. Shouldn't make quick decisions. I'm taking this off. I am going to clean this up here. Making this a little more sightly. Prune this back. That is one. This fellow is coming off nicely. But this vigor here is a little bit much for my liking. I'm going to prune this off here, leaving this guy to take over for this area. Let's see what it would look like. Now, if I take this guy off here, he would be here. Would he be enough to fill this space? And I would have to, let me take this thing in parts. So I'm going to take this guy off, cleaning this up, because these heal over nice enough. Right, so I cut that back. And I'm bringing this guy back to this point here. I'm going to take this guy off here. Take this back here. Does this make sense? Take this back further. Does that make sense? I do not know. To be very honest, I do not know. I don't think this guy on top here makes any sense. Because this is a very good branch here. This is a good branch here. I've taken this off. Let's see what develops from this angle here. Let's see. And you are not seeing it as I am seeing it. So we're going to turn the tree to suit your angle. Okay, so now you could see what I have happening here is that all of the branches are pruned up. And as they are pruned up, it ain't looking so bad at all, you know. It does not look bad at all. Now I am wondering about this fellow here and the figure that is coming up to this point. And I'm wondering if I should take this off or give this a Hail Mary cut, but I want something to come back a little bit here to create a more holistic type situation going on there. You know, as I said, this tends to grow in twos. So it's a matter of managing the growth, managing that growth. So I'm going to take this back here, hoping that I get something out from that angle. And it's still a little bit thick. If I take this off, what would I have? If I take that off, this will be fanning out that way. I have nothing coming this way. Now, if I take this off, then I have this guy coming this way. And the hope is that something would be developed from this guy. So what I'm going to do is to take this split. If I take this here, which is the better one to take off, boy? This and this running in line. Unless I take this off. But this gives you a nicer angle. So one goes that way, right? We're looking like we're in something there. We're looking like we're doing something here now. And these, my friends, are going well. Let's see. Do I want to take this off? I think it looks good for now. And as it grows, we could always, as time passes and as it grows, we do more ramification accordingly. So let me turn this around. Let's see from this angle what is happening. And no, I'm not using a turntable. I'm manually turning today. Yeah, my friends, I am comfortable with this. I am quite comfortable with this. I am seeing where branches are developing and something nice could come from this in the future. It's already turning out very nicely. If you take a look at the root work that I did, as I zoom in just a bit so you could see it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring you in. I have a nice root spread developing here. But I want to show you something. Now, before I show you that something, Anna, I'll go in quickly. There's a lot of roots that are coming up on the surface. And this particular species, once it is growing well, it gives you a lot of roots. So what is happening is that you have a lot of roots coming up on the surface. And I'm thinking that I want to take it out of this very shallow pot and put it into something a little bit deeper, which I feel may suit this particular tree a bit better, right? But let me show you what I want to show you. So hold on. Right, so this is the other side with the root system. And when I did the repotting, to get a little separation between these two roots, I put a stake, which is still here. And this root is coming out and it veers across on this side. Does it look that bad? No, I don't think so. I don't think that I need to cut this here because there's a root coming out here very straight. I think it gives it gives character. Roots are not perfect. They are not perfect at all. And the tree is just a smidgen high, but to compensate for that, you're seeing a lot of fine feeder roots coming off of the main roots. So I'm wondering now if I could remove this safely, this wedge. Let me see what happens. So we're going to remove this wedge here. Yep. It looks okay to me. This looks okay to me. So I hope you enjoyed the little tour. The video is a little bit long, but sometimes so it does go. Anyways, my friends, as I usually say, be good to yourself, be good to others. I want you to see me when I say it. Let me let you see me when I say it. So I didn't get the angle right, so I have to do it again. As I usually say, my friends, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. And remember that our climate is our responsibility. We have an opportunity to change it for the better. If not for ourselves, we do it for the future generations. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I don't get any monetary value from the likes. However, it allows my channel to reach further and to get to more people. I enjoy the comments, I enjoy reading the comments, I enjoy replying to the comments, and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Like, click that like button, my friends. And on that note, I will see you all soon. Bye.